Monday Night Raw this week was actually good. It was actually a good show. I'm gonna clap it up, give credit where credit is due. This show was actually pretty entertaining. So before we get into a full review, let me give you the quick rundown of everything that happened. CM Punk challenged John Cena to a championship match at Saudi at Night of Champions. AJ Styles defeated Chad Gable in a Nothing Burger match. Roxanne Perez defeated Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Kairi Sane in a fatal 4-way match to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Bayley made her shocking return and attacked Becky Lynch. R-Truth cuts a really good promo, one of the best promos I've heard in a while, and R-Truth ended up cutting his hair, saying that the truth has set him free. He is now Ron Killings. The people got R-Truth back, but not only did the people get R-Truth back, the people got Ron Killings back. It was such a good promo, and we'll dive deeper into that in a second. Next, Sami Zayn defeated Braun Breaker, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio in a fatal 4-way match to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella made a return tonight, and it seems like she's going to be involved in in-ring actions and in-ring stories. I thought it was going to be like a one-off where she just shows up and says something and disappears for like months. But no, it seems like she's going to be an active competitor, and I'm excited for it. And in the main event, Gunther defeated Jey Uso to win the World Heavyweight title. Now let's get into the full review. Okay, to start off, the crowd was really lively tonight. The crowd was really lively throughout this whole show. They were more lively than we've seen in a while. That I must say. But anyhow, the show started off with a John Cena and CM Punk opening promo. Cena insults Truth. He calls R-Truth a sideshow comedian. And he says that the greatest thing R-Truth has ever done was pretend to be John Cena. He says the crowd wasted their breaths and their time on getting R-Truth back. Then John Cena points out that he only has 19 appearances left. He's halfway through his retirement tour, and the crowd wasted it by wasting their breath on R-Truth. John Cena then says that the crowd doesn't have any real power to change anything, and calls R-Truth a gimmick. John Cena says that R-Truth will never use him to be in one of his pity parties ever again. Cena calls R-Truth a class clown, and demands that the crowd send him some more competition, or some competition period. Because the people that the crowd have been sending him, the crowd has sent their best, and John Cena has beat all of them. That's what he says. John Cena says he's beaten our best, then boom, CM Punk's music hits. CM Punk demands John Cena listen to everything that he has to say. Punk says that he's not here to defend TKO or the billionaires. He's here to defend the people. Then Punk starts to spew some nonsense, because John Cena said, "Send me your best, I've beaten the best." And CM Punk goes on to say, "Cody is the best we have." I'm like, who's we? And no, he's not. What do you mean the best we have? No, he's not. Who's we? We have way better. Come on, WWE's still glazing Cody for whatever reason. But anyhow, CM Punk then says that he's not here to kiss the final bosses behind, like John Cena. And if the people want truth, they will get Ron Killings. Punk says at Chamber, Seth curve stomped him and John Cena took advantage of the opportunity and put him in the STF. The last thing he heard before passing out was John Cena saying, "I'm sorry." Because John Cena knew, and he knows that what he's doing is not right, it's wrong. And the crowd starts to chant, "You sold out, you sold out." Punk then says that the title corrupted John Cena, says the title corrupted him, CM Punk. CM Punk says that the title corrupted CM Punk back in 2012, and he's been scared of the title ever since. But now he sees that to beat a monster, he has to become a monster himself. CM Punk then challenges John Cena for a championship match, and later on in the show it is set up that the match will happen in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. After that opening segment, we moved on to the first match of the night, which was AJ Styles versus Chad Gable. AJ Styles defeated Chad Gable. It was a one-on-one match. It was a pointless match, and I'm not going to lie to you, it was a pointless match, like I said. I don't remember much of it. There was nothing really notable. I'm happy AJ Styles got the win. I'm happy to see him performing. But this match was not noteworthy, really. It was alright, just pointless. I don't know why it happened. It wasn't really a good match. I don't really have any notable moments or highlights from this match. It was a alright match. That's all I can say. Then after that match, we got a Roxanne and Liv Morgan segment backstage to confirm that they're both in the Queen of the Ring tournament match, in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Roxanne Perez says we should work together. Liv Morgan says no, just stay out of my way. Then we get into the first Queen of the Ring match of the whole entire tournament. It's a fatal 4-way between Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez and Kairi Sane. Throughout this whole match, Roxanne Perez was looking out for Liv, doing some tag team moves with her, and then, like, she genuinely had Liv Morgan's back throughout this whole match, showing that she could be a good asset to the Judgment Day group. And these women had actual good chemistry, like good tag team moves, and they were like on the same page throughout the whole match. They did this cool move where they picked up Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan and Perez. They picked up Kairi Sane over their heads and sent her flying at Rhea, who was on the outside of the ring. It was pretty cool. Kairi Sane seemed pretty over with the crowd in this match. I could tell the crowd was really cheering for her. The crowd was really loud for her, so I'm happy that Kairi Sane is getting the love she deserves. Liv hit a cool springboard codebreaker. There was "This is awesome" chants throughout this whole match. They did that super suplex powerbomb thing spot where, you know, all the women are on the top rope, somebody's about to suplex somebody else comes in, joins the suplex party, and then it's two people about to suplex the person all the way at the top, and then the powerhouse comes in and powerbombs all of them off the top rope. Yeah, they did that cool cliche spot. And Rhea was the one who powerbombed everyone off the top rope. I have to note that Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez, they were really good in this match. They carried it. Rhea Ripley didn't really, I mean, like, she did, but, you know, she was just the powerhouse of this match. Nothing, like, crazy, nothing, like, you know, we haven't seen before. But Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez, they pulled out all the stops. But the crowd, as always, went crazy for Rhea Ripley, so that's that. Raquel Rodriguez ended up getting involved in the match. Kairi did a cool off the top rope dive to the outside of the ring to both Rhea and Raquel while they were brawling. Kairi Sane then hits the insane elbow on Liv Morgan and goes to pin Liv Morgan. And Roxanne Perez comes in out of nowhere, pulls Kairi Sane off and rolls her up for the win. And she advances in the tournament. And this gets Liv Morgan mad because Liv Morgan thinks or wants it to be her who advances, wants it to be Liv Morgan who advances in the match instead of Roxanne Perez, stuff like that. This was a really good match. Then we moved on to a Becky Lynch promo. Becky Lynch basically said nothing throughout this whole promo, so the only notable things were that, well, before I get to her promo, let's talk about what happened. There was a backstage segment where we see Nikki Bella talking to some stars, including Io Sky, Natalya, Kairi Sane, and Maxine Dupree, basically saying, "Oh, I'm back," introducing herself to some of the new women as well. Then we get to Becky Lynch promo. Becky Lynch comes out, she says, "Where are the 'you deserve it' chants?" Because the crowd was not chanting, they were booing and everything. She says, "Where's the 'you deserve it' chants? I deserve it." You know what? It doesn't even matter. She says that she should be celebrating right now, but no. Because of that integrity-less Lyra Valkyria who ruined everything, she can't celebrate. I find it funny, like, this part of the promo was really funny. Becky Lynch said that after she won the match, the stipulation was that if she wins the match, Lyra Valkyria has to raise her arm. And Lyra Valkyria ended up raising her arm so aggressively, she thought Lyra dislocated her shoulder. And then she tried to play the victim, saying that Lyra Valkyria almost killed her after the match. And I found that really funny. She called out Lyra Valkyria to apologize and to raise her hand correctly. Lyra Valkyria comes out, like, you know, storming out, angry. She's mad, and it seems like Lyra and Becky Lynch are about to brawl again. Then, boom, out of nowhere, Bayley comes in. She returns and ambushes Becky Lynch from behind and starts to attack her, and Becky Lynch has to run away. Then we get to quite possibly my favorite moment of the night. R-Truth shows up, masked again. He gets on the announcer's table, he removes his mask, and he delivers such a good promo. I'm telling you, WWE could have had him doing this the whole time, and they just wasted him on funny backstage segments. Come on, that's ridiculous. But let's get into this promo he cut, because I made a lot of notes for it, honestly. So, Truth tells the crowd that, "Don't let anyone tell you your voice doesn't matter. They heard, they felt, and they understood. I'm back because of y'all. We want truth. Truth is back." That's what he says. "Not only did you bring R-Truth back, you got me, Ron Killings." He says R-Truth can be too funny, too nice, too forgiving. Not me. I wish you would. So if anyone backstage wants to try him, he wish they would. He says, "I feel different. I feel alive. If you think I'm a gimmick or a sideshow." He pulls out a pair of scissors and he cuts off his dreadlocks. He cuts off his hair. And R-Truth says, "The truth set me free. I am Ron Killings. I am the truth and nothing but the truth. So put some respect on my name." And then he walks out. It was such a good promo, man. Chills. I got chills during this. It was so good. The crowd went crazy. The crowd was still chanting, "We want truth. We want truth." And R-Truth is more over than he's probably ever been in his whole career right now. And this was amazing, dude. I love that for Truth. Then we moved on to, well, Before the men's King of the Ring tournament match, we got a backstage segment between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Finn Balor basically confronts Dominic Mysterio, asks him why did he take his spot in the King of the Ring tournament, and this kind of teases more separation inside of the Judgment Day and like teases Finn Balor turning on Dominic Mysterio. This heel turn on Dominic Mysterio is taking way too long, man. I'm starting to not even care about it anymore. And then we see Liv Morgan complaining backstage, getting mad at Roxanne Perez that she didn't win the match and Roxanne stole the opportunity from her, stuff like that. Anyhow, we got to the King of the Ring Fatal 4-Way match between Penta, Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, and Dirty Dom. And before this match started, we got a pointless backstage segment from Seth and Seth Rollins' group. He doesn't say much. He doesn't say anything of importance, honestly. So I'm just going to skip that because I don't even remember what he said. So Braun Breaker comes out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is out in ringside. And Paul Heyman was just there to be there. I thought he was going to cheat or something or help Braun Breaker cheat. But he was just there spectating. And that was all. He didn't really get involved or anything. So the bell rings. Dominic Mysterio immediately rolls out of the ring to get away from the action, to get away from all the competitors. And out of nowhere, Penta just dives on him. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be good. Breaker dominates everyone at the start of this match, and then everybody has enough of Breaker bullying them, and then they're like, no, it's 3 of us versus 1 of them, so let's team up. So they team up and start beating Braun Breaker senseless. Sami Zayn, some highlights from this match are Sami Zayn hit off the top of the rope tornado DDT on Dirty Dominic Mysterio. But I do want to point out though, this match kind of seemed like a match to build up Braun Breaker's character, and I'm really happy for it. He seems like more of a threat now, and less like a brainless lackey for Seth Rollins, you know? Anyhow, other cool spots. Dominic Mysterio hits a suicide dive DDT on Penta onto the outside area. After Penta hits Sami Zayn with an off the top of the rope dive. Breaker hit a springboard flying clothesline move. That move he does onto the announce table. He hit that on Dominic Mysterio. Then Breaker jumps from the ring floor onto the top rope in one swift movement and hits a Frankensteiner on Sami Zayn, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. And we started getting This Is Awesome chants, This Is Awesome chants. Penta hit a Mexican Destroyer on Dominic Mysterio. Another cool spot was that Breaker hit a super spear on Penta on the outside. LA Knight comes in out of nowhere, attacks Breaker. And this was just for Breaker getting involved, well, Seth Rollins' group in general getting involved in his match at Money in the Bank and costing him the match. Sami then uses the opportunity to hit a haluva kick on Dominic Mysterio and pins him for the win. Then we move on to the Nikki Bella promo. It was, I don't know, how was this promo? It was alright, I guess. It was decent. So before this promo, they kept doing this thing where like they announce something can happen and like the competitor comes out or something, or before it happens, they have like 50 video segments or 50 backstage segments. I'm like, can we just get to the main part? But anyhow, before the match starts, we get like a video segment basically announcing that Asuka's going to return next week and she's going to be participating in the Women's Queen of the Ring tournament matches. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see Asuka come back, and I'm excited to see Asuka return. And I must say, the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring matches and the match brackets, they seem really good. Like, really good competition, really good matches, really good superstars in this tournament. I must applaud WWE for that. Give credit where credit is due. So Nikki Bella gets into her promo. She says, it feels good to be back. She missed the WWE Universe. She compliments the current women division, saying that like these women have been showing out, showing up, showing out, and all this and all that. She gets interrupted by Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is mad that Nikki Bella didn't personally mention her name when she's talking about the greatest women in the locker room, saying how great the locker room is, how great the talent is. Morgan is mad that Nikki Bella didn't personally say her name. Liv Morgan says that Nikki Bella is just jealous of her because Liv has everything that Nikki Bella doesn't. Liv has respect, Liv has a championship, and Liv has a man. And I'm like, dude, isn't it a little bit too soon for shots like that? But that's besides the point. I didn't mind it. It added more heat to this rivalry. Anyhow, Nikki Bella then asks Liv Morgan, who does Dirty Dominic Mysterio belong to? Is it you or is it Roxanne Perez? And Nikki Bella says, go congratulate Roxanne Perez for me for her winning the Queen of the Ring tournament and for taking your man. I was like, oh boy, okay, this is gonna be interesting. So this drives a little bit more of a wedge in the Judgment Day as well. But anyhow, Liv Morgan then decides to attack Nikki Bella with a mic. She knocks Nikki Bella out, then just walks out of the ring. Then we got to the main event. It was Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship match. And before the match, they just kept planting seeds that Jey Uso's not 100%. You kind of knew he was going to lose the championship, honestly. Because they kept saying, oh, Jey Uso's not 100%. Look at everything he's gone through during these past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He's been involved in everybody's story. He's been taking hits after hits. He came out with his ribs taped up and everything. And then just like I think when he won the heavyweight championship this time around too, when he's losing it, he came out with his son as well. And his son was watching ringside. So like they kind of made it glaringly obvious if I'm being honest. But anyhow, like I said, Jey Uso came out with his son and did his heat entrance with his son. So let's get into the match. What happened? The match was honestly pretty basic. It was like nothing crazy. It was your average Jey Uso versus Gunther match, honestly. The one thing that bothered me though, like Jey Uso just kept spamming the sleeper hold. He kept trying to put Gunther in the sleeper hold to tap him out. And I'm like, dude, you've done that once. You're acting like this move's been in your arsenal throughout your whole entire career. Stop spamming it. Just do your own thing. And that was like the focal point of the match. Jey Uso just kept trying to put Gunther in the sleeper hold to tap him out. I'm like, dude, come on. This is getting repetitive at this point. But anyhow, Jey Uso keeps trying to put Gunther in the sleeper hold. Some cool spots that happened were that Jey Uso hit a crossbody on Gunther and he ended up injuring his ribs while doing this move on Gunther, his taped up ribs. And like I said, Jey Uso just kept spamming the sleeper, hold on Gunther. It wasn't successful. He just kept like spamming it and like Gunther kept reversing it, getting out of it, fighting back for a little bit and stuff like that. Jey Uso hit a big suplex on Gunther, which was pretty cool. And then he hit a spear on Gunther as well as an Uso splash. And I did note, even though this match was basic a little bit, was a bit boring, it was a lot better than their WrestleMania match. And that's crazy to me, how like a Raw match was better than a WrestleMania match. And that's not saying much, honestly, because the Mania match wasn't exceptional or anything. It wasn't that good or anything. So anyhow, but this match was definitely better. The crowd was more lively there. There was more energy, I felt. And I feel like they maybe let this match breathe more on Raw than they did on WrestleMania. Another cool spot was Gunther ended up actually hitting a spear on Jey Uso. And I'm like, I don't know why they keep passing the spear around to everybody nowadays. Not everybody needs to do the spear. Just stop it. And I understand it was a cool spot for Gunther just to be like, oh, Jey Uso's using Gunther's move. Now Gunther's going to use Jey Uso's move. But the spear was never Jey Uso's move. I'm like, dude, come on. But anyhow, it was an atrocious spear. It looked bad. It was more of a football tackle than a spear, if anything. Near the end of the match, Jey Uso goes on to the top rope. He hits an Uso splash on Gunther. Well, tries to. Gunther moves out of the way and Uso hits nothing but ring mat. Gunther then puts Jey Uso in the sleeper hold. And then Jey Uso gets out of it. Jey Uso puts Gunther in a sleeper hold. Gunther gets out of it. Gunther gets out of his sleeper hold that Jey Uso put him in, and then he put Jey Uso in a sleeper hold. And this went on for like, I want to say like 2 to 3 minutes. He had Jey Uso in a sleeper hold. Jey Uso kept trying to like get out of it, but Gunther would stop him, roll him back into the middle of the ring, stuff like that. And it told the story that Jey Uso didn't want to give up. He didn't want to tap out. So Gunther had Jey Uso in a sleeper hold. Jey Uso refused to tap out, so Jey Uso ended up passing out. And that's how Gunther dethroned Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. And overall, this episode of Monday Night Raw, with all the cool returns we got, the cool moments like returns from Nikki Bella, returns from Bayley, the amazing promo we got from CM Punk and John Cena. It was a really good promo. The amazing segment we got from R-Truth where he cut his hair and says that WWE wanted R-Truth, but they got Ron Killings. That segment was amazing. And then LA Knight making like a surprise appearance to attack Braun Breaker. With all these cool moments and the good matches, this episode of Monday Night Raw was actually really good. So if I had to rate this episode of Monday Night Raw, I would rate it like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. Like, this is what you expect when you're watching Monday Night Raw on Netflix, you know. This is what you should expect when you're watching Monday Night Raw. And this is what we should be getting every week. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. When it's good, I'm going to call it how it is. And when it's bad, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to tell you how it is as well. So anyhow, this episode was actually really good. Anyhow, those were my thoughts and opinions. That was my breakdown of the match and of the show, of everything that happened. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hearing me out. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. It's been a pleasure. I'm out.